Hey everyone, it's Maribel Blue with a new Maribel Blue Unfiltered. Today we are talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yay, a new topic. I told you before that I was catching up on all of the shows. So here we are. We are solely going to talk about the last 2 episodes with Erika and the infamous earrings, as well as this breakdown that Kathy Hilton allegedly had. And we're hearing secondhand information, of course, from Lisa Rinna. Of all people, why was she the one who had to be there? So before we get started, I just want to say, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Please take the time to consider subscribing as I try to post weekly content, although I feel I've been a week behind with my work schedule and everything else that's going on around me. And if you are not new, welcome back. Let's get started with all of the juicy details regarding Erika and those earrings. I have to say, I am disturbed with Erika's reaction towards not giving back these earrings. I'm not surprised, but I'm disturbed because nowhere in her mind does she think, like, let me just give these things up so that nobody's knocking on my door, eventually taking them away or asking for them. It was just one excuse after another. The shocking part of the whole thing was Kyle's reaction to Erika not finding the empathy towards these victims. And my thing with her is, well, why would Erika find any empathy for anybody else? In the whole time that we have been watching Erika, remember in the beginning, she was like ultra fabulous. Everybody wanted to be like her, except for me. But we all know Lisa Rinna just dived in. She does anything for Erika. She co-signs all of her BS. We've seen it season after season on this show. Why would it be different? Notice, though, that when all of this stuff is going on, she says nothing. She sits behind the sidelines. She doesn't even get involved. You don't see her making any kind of direct comments. Yeah, she'll make comments, but she'll also make excuses for her. So when Kyle was yelling at her about finding empathy, Erika's not going to find any empathy. As far as she is concerned and what she wants the world to believe, because, she's still going to put on this facade about how everybody wants to be her. Nobody wants to be you, Erika. Find some kind of compassion and say, you know what? These earrings are not that important. At some point, I could spend $750,000 on my own earrings with my own money and get whatever it is that I want. This is the part that baffles me. And even everybody else was on board. The whole point, it wasn't really about the earrings, but to have some kind of empathy for people who didn't plan on having relatives getting killed off. I believe there was a flight. I'm not even going to get into the details because I'm not even going to pretend and make up shit that isn't accurate. I don't like doing that. But something did happen. And here is the other thing. When settlements happen, okay, when settlements occur, it's because the legal system, lawyers, attorneys, whatever it is that you want to call them, law firms, they all get involved. They put up the settlement. The settlement is supposed to be money put aside for these victims. Sorry, I had to put my chair down because I felt like super duper high. But anyway, going back to the whole settlement thing. When this money is put aside for victims, it's not for you to dip in and say, well, you know what? I was eyeing these pair of earrings that I really wanted to buy. And I know that the money is there. I'm going to dip in it, but I'll put it back. And then that never happens because you keep helping yourself to money that's not yours. And nobody thinks in their head there's not going to be some kind of a paper trail that somebody wrote a check out for themselves or wrote a check for somebody else. There's always going to be some kind of a paper trail. So for Erika to think in her mind that nobody is going to figure it out, or nobody is going to know about these earrings. Because I read something somewhere, I forget where I read it, that initially he had bought her earrings and then somehow they got stolen. Because, there's always a backstory with Erica. Remember the snow out in California? And from what I understand, it does snow somewhere, but who knows where. Needless to say, he goes and he buys her another pair of earrings. Where do you think he got the money from, Tom, to buy these earrings? If these earrings were not suspect in being used, they wouldn't be a topic of discussion, correct? So now that we've got that part done, here's the other funny part. When she was talking about how her case was dismissed without prejudice and it's over. Let's just put the dictionary definition of what it means when a case is dismissed without prejudice as opposed to with prejudice. Now that we've read that part, clearly Erica knows nothing about the legal system and how it works when a judge closes a case without prejudice, which means that the case can be refiled. It may not be refiled in that state. It all depends on the legal parts, the legal system of how one state differs from another and how they can reopen the case if it's going to be reopened somewhere else. And even all the ladies were saying it's going to be reopened in California. So for Erica to think in her mind, oh, it's over. No, it's not over, babe. It's going to be going on for quite a while. For as long as Tom Girardi is alive, for as long as they have enough paperwork. Let's just use this for an example, okay? And this is a real life example. Bernie Madoff and the things that he was doing. He was doing very evil things. And his wife, perhaps his wife didn't know about it. Let's just say, for example, she didn't. Some people say she did. Some people say she didn't. Let's just go with the guys that she didn't know. Now, Bernie Madoff got found out. The feds come in. They're taking everything that's of value to pay back the money that he claimed he was investing. And they're going to take everything that she owned. Anything that's not nailed to the floor, they're taking. They don't care whether she knew or not. Sorry, there's a guy riding this stupid moped. So if you hear it in the background, I apologize. They don't care if she knew what her husband was doing or she didn't know. The fact remains is that they have to take everything that's property value that was purchased with this money, whatever it was that he was doing, so that they can give it back to the victims. And from what I even understand, even still to this day and age, there are people who still haven't gotten their money back. And I think that there's a documentary about it. You can look it up or I can find it and just link it down below. But these are the things that Erica, in her mind, she seriously believes that she is a victim in all of this. And she is not a victim. She may not have direct contact with the money or how the money was received or if gifts were being bought with it. She may not have that direct information. The fact is, if the money was used to buy these earrings, then just give the earrings back. Stop it with the whole nonsense of, I don't have to give anything back. It's so immature and so babyish of her. My whole thing is, if I was in that situation, and I'm smart, so I would never put myself in a situation like that. But if I was in that situation, I'd be like, here, you know what? Whatever it is that you need to pay these people back, to put money back into the account, here, just take it. Take whatever it is that you need to pay these victims back. Because I can always replace this in one form or another. Yes, I get it. It's painful. Nobody likes to have material things that probably are, if they're worth of value, I get that. But in the sense that of value, if they were a gift that somebody gave to you and it's a remembrance of them, I understand that wholeheartedly. I have lost many of things throughout all of my years. I've had things stolen from me. I get it. And even if it's stolen and returned, it's almost like it doesn't hold the same value because somebody else had it. And that's just my own personal thoughts on that. Why can't this dumbass ride somewhere else? Here's the other part that I'm having fun with. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The way Garcelle has clapped back at Erika. At first, when she just came on the show, I was like, oh, why does she want to be on this show? She's better than that. It's almost as if she puts everybody in check. She has no issues telling people why she unfollowed them, why she felt the way she felt, or if she didn't like being called a liar, because there was this whole situation going on between her and Erika. Garcelle, she does not hold her tongue when it comes to expressing how it is that she feels. She's friends with Sutton. Sutton seems to not be able to express herself clearly. A lot of the times that she's talking, she'll come out and say things like, but like, why did you say that? The whole thing that happened with Dorit and the break-in, that is very, very scary. Nobody wants to have a gun to their head over personal property. It's like, again, it's the same thing. Just take it, because these are all things that can be replaced. A life, the way we know it in our existence, cannot be replaced, but a bag can. So if you need that bag more than me, then just freaking take it and go away. In the case with Sutton and her situation, whatever it is that's going on, and she's like, I don't have a gun to my head. Yes, I agree. That was very insensitive. So a lot of the times, I'm not sure why she comes off the way she comes off and the things that she says. She's been having issues with Diana Jenkins, another one that I am not a fan of whatsoever. She has this attitude. She has this air about herself. No, I can't go out shopping because I'm allergic to dust. Well, how do you go out? There's dust everywhere. We're inhaling probably the craziest shit right now. But you can't go to a store. The shopper comes to you. That's funny. Wasn't she in a store in Aspen 2 episodes ago? She didn't have any problems there. She makes this comment because Sutton now is arguing the point that when she was called a see you next Tuesday, nobody came to her defense. Nobody said anything about it. And then Diana Jenkins comes out and says, but you are a see you next Tuesday, and starts laughing about it. And not only that, she's laughing about it, but then Erika is hysterical laughing too. Like, Erika, you're a see you next Tuesday because you can't even have the decency to give back these earrings. You couldn't pay your American Express bill. Who remembers that? She couldn't pay her American Express bill. And then she was acting like, well, you know, the bill wasn't in one shot. Like what, $12 million or something like that. I spent like $1 million a year. Still, pay your fucking bill. I had to talk about that again because I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's just so amazing how she tries to downplay herself, her spending, her woe is me. But you still have like that guy who's like, what, your director of fashion or whatever it is. You still have your glam squad. You're not living in squalor. So clearly you have something coming in that's helping you live a glamorous life. She's still going on private planes. She's going on a trip to Aspen. Come on. Like, she's still living a better life than me. Yeah, granted, like, you know, I'm not living in squalor. I live in a nice big house. But at the end of the day, I think that Erika's doing a little bit better than me. I'm not walking around with $750,000 of earrings that's in my ears. As a matter of fact, there's nothing in my ear now. But this is the shit that I'm talking about. Now, let's talk a little bit about Kathy Hilton and what happened there, which we still don't know what happened. Other than they went to this place, she had an outburst, she was going off for some reason or another. Here's the thing that I don't understand. Lisa Rinna was taking her home, but yet she was able to text Erika everything that was going on, things that Kathy Hilton was saying that she could not repeat because they were so vile. Here's the thing, people. Let's just have a little bit of a reality check here. Just because you are not living in squalor and you have money up the wazoo and never have to worry about anything not getting paid, I mean, except if you're Erika, because why? Doesn't make anybody perfect. It doesn't make anybody have less stress because they have money. Yeah, there are some people who can handle their money better than others. Recently, you had that person collect his $1 billion prize or whatever it is, and he's literally like wearing gloves and a mask because he doesn't want anybody to recognize him, his family or friends or what have you. That's a lot of freaking money to win in a lottery. And granted, if I won money in a lottery, I would not want to put my face out there. I wouldn't want anybody to know that I won that type of money. Don't be knocking on my door asking for anything, because I know some of my family members that I don't even speak to. They would probably be the first one at the door and I would be slamming the door. But that's my own personal shit. I know. I'm saying over here, have some empathy. I'm sorry. When it comes to some family members, I just can't. I would have empathy for a stranger living on the street than most of my family members. And I'm just being honest.
Why can't you treat me the way I would be treated by any stranger on the street?
So I don't know what's going on with Kathy Hilton. I know that there was a lot of tweets going on about her honesty. But again, I'm not sure of the exact details. I know that Kyle talked about her relationship with her sister, things that occurred between them when Kyle was doing that show, and Kathy felt like that wasn't a vision of their mother, that it brought their mother into a bad light. I don't think so. You know what? The 60s and 70s was very different for women at that time, especially women who had money as opposed to women who didn't have money. It was a very different time. There shouldn't be shame associated with what was going on during those times. Those times were factual, how women were viewed upon. So let's not take away what happened in history. Maybe Kathy has some shame about how her mother was at that time. I'm not sure. Whatever the case is, something did happen that made her explode in a way. And hopefully we can find out within the next couple of episodes of exactly what happened. So that's it. That's all I have for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments about what is going on. I know I didn't get into the whole beginning of the episodes. At this point, it's kind of pointless. I may do like a highlights that I'll be putting on my Patreon, as well as other content that I'm creating for Patreon. And with all that being said, again, leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you will get notified when I upload a new video. And again, with all that being said, this is Maribel Blues signing off. As always, remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and most importantly, take care of you. Bye, everybody.